Good evening, everyone. We thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Cocktails and Conversation. My name is Alexis Moore, and I am your principal vibe creator of Hosted. And I'm super excited tonight to be able to offer a different vibe, a vibe that will help you curate your ladies' night experience. We all love having a girls' night, it is so needed. And I am so excited to be able to have Marilyn and Jeriann from Play All Day to be able to join us tonight, who are going to teach us how to create the vibe for a perfect ladies' night. And we're going to kick it off with probably one element that can help make your ladies' night a great time. So, well, first, Marilyn, Jeriann, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you guys taking the time. And I see you have a beautiful setup. So before we jump into any conversation, let's go ahead and get the drinks. What do you guys have over there?
Okay, so my drink is called Spilling the Tea because once you get into this game and throw a couple of drinks back, you'll definitely be spilling the tea with your girls. And some ingredients I use for my drink is green tea, of course. I also use lime, vodka, and just a dash of Canada Dry ginger ale. Okay. And like 2 ice cubes, and that was pretty much it.
Spilling the tea.
Spilling the tea.
I love that. Love that.
My drink is a little bit more spicy. It's called This Is What Black Girl Magic Is Made Of. So just like when your girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice. So we still have all of those ingredients inside of us. Ooh. So mine is a little spicy and a little sweet. So I have a rimmed glass, which I rimmed with brown sugar and cayenne pepper. And that's our sweet and spice. And then for everything nice, we got coconut rum. I love this brand. Even though I am from the Virgin Islands, so obviously Korean rum is I'm a marketer for them, but I do love this brand because it's actually made with coconut water and it tastes really, really good.
Love that.
So, coconut water, some orange juice, some lemon juice, and some grenadine. Shake it all up and garnish it with a lemon, and you're all good. And it's actually a little bit of if you like it a little spicy, there's a little bit of jalapeno pepper in here as well.
You guys, these drinks.
Yes.
I love that. And it's 2 different drinks. So if you got a variety in your crowd,
yes, sure.
It's 2 different vibes. I like that.
Oh.
Absolutely love that. And then the ingredients, I feel like we got those in our pantry. We can go ahead and make them.
Yeah. And when you have a party, obviously you should have options too for people because some people like sweeter drinks like myself. Some people like things a little bit more less sweet, a little stronger. So you want to give them options.
Yeah.
But having a signature cocktail at a ladies' night is definitely something I think that everyone should do. Try something new, mix it up, make a little menu for your friends, and just enjoy
a little variety.
Yeah. Now, do you guys typically have give folks the option to make their drinks at your ladies' night, or you make that signature cocktail, have it already ready to go for folks to grab?
Yeah, we typically have them ready, and so when they come in, because when you get with your girls, you just want to be able to sit down and relax, and so we have everything prepared and just ready to have a good time.
Awesome. Well, we definitely look forward to being able to try those. Both drinks sound absolutely delicious. The sweet and spice. I had to try that. I had to try that myself. Awesome. So guys, thank you so much for the amazing drink selections that we will all be trying for our next ladies' night. I'm so excited that our paths were able to cross. I think that, when we think about gatherings, sometimes conversation happens naturally, and sometimes you just need some tools to be able to help open people up and to, get the conversation going. So I think a lot of times we, when we get together, there might be some new faces in the crowd. There might be some old friends, and being able to have tools to be able to help facilitate that conversation, that experience, are always welcomed and helpful. Can you guys tell me a little bit about yourselves and about the company and what inspired you to start developing tools like this?
Okay. Well, as we said, we are nurses, and so we actually met at work, weirdly enough, and decided to kind of just start this company. Part of the reason was, we are trying to be social and, go to certain places, but as you progress, you find yourself not wanting to do the same things that you did per se, let's say in your 20s or something like that.
She's talking about going to clubs.
That's what we're talking about.
You want to find a way to still enjoy yourself, still have a really good time without having to necessarily go to the club. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the premise of how we even got started with our business, because we were doing event planning first. Right. And so we were doing basically game nights, adult game nights. We couple of events, Battle of the Sexes, just having a great time. Yeah. But then of course COVID happened. And everything shut down, so that shut down all events.
Yeah, and we pretty much wanted to keep the same energy of, getting people together and having a good time. And we definitely have a good, strong foundation of girlfriends. And we thought it would be awesome if we created a game that could get women together and just have them have that experience, without going to a club or something similar to that. And we actually, did some research, and we realized that it was an untapped market. We really couldn't find any card games that were for women, and specifically for Black women. Yeah. So we were excited about it, a little saddened because, there wasn't really too many places that we can go, that any of us could go to that. But we were excited because we were going to kind of go in that direction and create it, and we did. And we're excited about it. We're
definitely proud of the progress.
We are.
Hopefully a lot of ladies will get to experience the game. I think, when we started designing the questions, and that part came so freely because these are things that women talk about with their girlfriends all the time.
Yeah.
Who doesn't talk about their exes?
Right. Current situation.
Exactly. So these questions just kind of open up because women do share so many of the same experiences. And a lot of the times we feel like we're going through things alone.
Right. But we go through them in silence.
Exactly. This is the importance of having your girlfriends around you and opening up to them and just understanding that other women go through this too, and this too shall pass.
Yes. First of all, can I say thank you, because the market, yes, you are right. There was a hole in the market for something like this. And I will say, I'm one of the people, I was never like a club person, but I always enjoyed when the girls did get together around conversation and having a good time. I'm also a shy person. I'm introverted. And so I think having something that, a tool that helps kind of provoke thinking and provoke an experience, for me, that's right up my alley. I also think that I love the message that's undergirding why you all are bringing tools like this to the market. I do think that we as women go through similar experiences, but they're not shared experiences because we, whatever stigma may be associated, we don't even share, not even all the time with our girlfriends.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, but
because it's probably partially to that perpetual strong Black woman syndrome that's out there that we all feel like we have to uphold.
And even to one another, right? It's like we all know that being a strong Black woman sometimes comes with the thought process that you have to put on a facade, and that that facade is doing no one any good, because if I'm going through something, who's to say that you didn't experience that just last year? And I might not have to go through the depths of that experience because maybe Jeriann, I'm like, hey, I've been through this, or I'm going through this right now, and you could say, hey girl, listen,
Yeah,
Here's what I learned.
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. And, you know, it also can help to make, you know, someone feel that you're not alone. You know, like I'm not the only person who has gone through this experience. So
Yeah. And I think, you know, in COVID and in this environment where, so you guys were saying before COVID, you were doing game night. So that just naturally brought people together.
Mm-hmm.
it did, and it was awesome. You know, we would have games at our events that ranged from games that you would play as a child,
Yeah.
you know, to more current modern games. And it was always a hit. It was always a hit. And we kind of started thinking, you know what, we could probably, maybe, possibly, you know, venture into this area. And we did, and we're very excited about it. We are definitely excited about it. We have 4 different categories in our game. One is called What Would You Do? So we have different scenarios, and it kind of goes into, you know, it gives options as to what would you do. And if you play it with somebody that you're familiar with, you can kind of, we have it set up where you can try to guess what your friend would answer, and how well do you know your friend, or how well do you think you know your friend. The other categories are X and X's, and that kind of goes into relationships, current and past relationships. We have fashion pros, which ranges from makeup to hair, clothes.
All of them kind of also have little things about girlfriend questions too, like, what do you know, if your girlfriend did this and this was the action, what would you do in this particular scenario? Would you say something to her? Like, you know, so after fashion and pros definitely covers more girlfriends, but definitely even in what would you do, there's scenarios like as far as how much of your friend's back would you have, that kind of thing.
Wow.
So, interesting to hear.
Then we have behind closed doors. It's a little spicy. I think your drink.
That drink is
will represent that category. Yeah. It's just a lot of fun. Our game is, you know, we want women to have a good time. Yes. We want women to feel comfortable. You know, we want conversations to carry on, and we also want, you know, we want everyone to laugh. You know, we want people to laugh.
I mean, we're all grown here, so we're all of legal age. So you know what's happening behind the closed doors. So it's not necessarily a secret, but you definitely do learn some things.
Yes.
That you probably would not have known.
I've learned some things
about your friends.
I've learned some things about my friend over there.
You see the spicy friend over there.
But it was good because, you know, there was a certain question that came up and she answered in a certain way that I didn't expect her to answer it.
Yeah.
So but it kind of opened my mind. It wasn't necessarily how I would have answered it. But you know, it kind of opened my mind, like, okay, like I could see where she was coming from. So it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. So you'll definitely learn things about your friends.
And
with strangers. We've had virtual game nights before. And I mean, once the questions start, everyone just kind of forgets that they don't even know everyone and just starts telling all kind of.
You would be surprised. Yes, spilling the tea. Like, you would be surprised. We have, you know, observed people playing games and played with friends and, you know, people that we were newly acquainted with. And the environment was awesome because, like, everyone was open and, you know, you just shared things and you learned. Like, I learned some stuff. I learned some stuff. Did you learn?
She was giving the knowledge. She was giving the knowledge.
I was like, let me
well, there was a level of trust I felt that was there that probably wouldn't have been there before. Because, you know, sometimes with women, there's always kind of a little, not really intimidation, but some women are more standoffish than other women. And so I feel like in this game, once you start the questions, everyone kind of forgets about all of those things and everyone is laughing and having a good time together, like as if we knew each other from years ago.
So the guards are coming down with each question because people are just seeing the shared experience of it all. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you can, groups that are familiar with each other, groups that may be a little new to each other, it can work in either environment. It could be successful in either environment.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
One thing you were talking about, you were saying you can learn a lot about your friends. And like, I was sitting here thinking, I was like, you know, you could play this game over and over again and get different responses from your friends at different stages of life.
Very true. Very true.
Different stages of life. You know, we just, for some of us might answer the behind the closed doors seems differently this year than we would last year.
That is so true. That is definitely true. That is definitely true.
Yeah, because some of these questions, I'm sure if I was in my 20s and I answered them, it would be crazy. But now I'm more mature. And so now my answers are like more refined.
And mine might be the opposite. You know, I was a little prudish when I was younger, you know, but so it's definitely a game that will have you thinking and talking for sure.
Thinking and talking. And that's what we want. We want people to really, when we get together, we want people to be able to share their stories. And I think that that's how we grow deeper in our relationships, is when we start to have kind of those fun yet vulnerable conversations, because that's when we start creating connections. Because I think it was said earlier too that a lot of time people can come off very reserved or standoffish, and that can affect the vibe of your event. It definitely can affect it. But like, if you as the host, you're not providing a tool or an activity to help bring everybody to the table, then it's just awkward.
I know.
It's just awkward.
Well, I can speak. I know you said you were introverted, and I can definitely identify with that because, believe it or not, I am someone who is introverted. But I have allowed myself to grow, I guess, in the past few months, even from this game coming out, because now I've had to become the face, you know, behind of it and be on social media and stuff like that, which I'm usually not comfortable with at all. But, you know, I still know that the premise behind it is the game. And I definitely am all for that. And I want women to experience what we experience. Yeah. So I'm willing to sacrifice my comfort to make sure that we get it out there.
It's a big sacrifice. I know. I know. But it's good to know that introverted and extroverted personality types can enjoy an experience like this. I think a lot of times we think that introverts are people that kind of shy away from these types of experiences, but it's really not. It's really not. It's introvert. It all just simply means where we get our energy, and we might get our energy. We might be comfortable in group settings, expelling that energy and almost showing up as an extrovert when the situation is right.
Right. Definitely true. That definitely happens.
Yeah. You know, Jeriann might be the life of the party when this when the game gets going. Yeah, so that's awesome. So guys, I love the premise behind the game. I love what the type of conversations that it can provoke. I love that you have 4 categories. So I'm gonna kind of go off of the game for a second. Helping people out there that are trying to if we haven't been getting together for some time now because of COVID, and people, you know, maybe in the near future, they're starting to dream about their girls' night. So I would like for each of you to think about, what is your ideal vibe for if you could create your own girls' night, what's your ideal vibe? When I walk in the room, what do I see? What do I hear? What's my tasting? What are we doing? Tell me what your ideal experience is.
I mean, I would say the ones that we've had, we actually had a pajama party. And we just had we had a variety of music. We did old school music. We went back to like the 90s, 80s.
I can
We were
get
back
it.
to the 90s. I mean, we were dancing, acting a fool.
We had a little too turned up.
It was turned, okay?
Is there such thing as ginger?
But it was all in fun. It was awesome. We had music going back to the 90s, and we went to like the 2000s, and we went to more current music. We had reggae, we had trap music. I mean, we had a blast. Not everyone knew each other initially.
Uh-huh.
You know, but I mean, you wouldn't have known that by just you know, being there.
Yeah.
We all were acting a fool, and we had a good time.
You gotta let your hair down. You gotta let your hair down. And do you tend to bring that group back every so often? Like, is it a kind of a regular standing date that you guys have, or was that kind of like we're gonna do this one time and see have a good time in the moment? And
yeah, we do it kind of, not as often, maybe not everyone.
Yeah,
kind of like smaller groups, because that was like a big group.
Yeah, that was a large
So it was
group.
the smaller groups. We do it more on a smaller group scale.
Gotcha.
But I definitely feel like having your girlfriends around is important. So I try to at least, even if it's just dinner or whatever, to like try to catch up at least on the weekend, if not every weekend, at least every 2 weeks or something like that. I feel like that's to help you de-stress and you know, kind of let go of all the stuff that's going on during the week and just kind of relax and vent and talk, you know.
Yeah, so that's definitely important. But I also want to say that if, you know, because COVID is real, you know, unfortunately. So, you know, sometimes it's not the safest thing, especially when the numbers are rising, to get a group of people together, like 10 or more.
Yep.
So this game would be awesome for like a virtual night. We've definitely done that, and we had a blast. So
even in the virtual one, everyone get their own drinks ready.
Yeah.
We asked the questions, and it was hilarious. It was wonderful.
Love the versatility. Versatility is key. It's going to be just as effective via Zoom or Google Hangout as it would be if you guys were in person.
Oh yeah.
When they're coming to your girls' night, it's not going to sound like it'll be a little kickback. It's going to be a
turnout. You might start slow. Everybody want to eat and drink, you know, get a drink together. But once the music starts,
it's time. It's time. So I know you guys want to play the game.
Yes, we do.
Can you show us how to play this game?
Sure.
Yes. So there's two ways you can play. Like we said, you can either play where you guess what the other person would say, or you can ask a question and everyone can answer, or one person can ask a question and answer. I mean, I feel like most of the times once you ask a question, everyone wants to jump in and give their 2 cents.
Okay.
So for that. So that's usually kind of how we just let it roll.
Exactly. So I mean, however you end up playing the game and you feel comfortable with it is how it should be.
Roll with it.
We're gonna ask you some questions. We're gonna start easy with you.
Yeah, we're definitely we're definitely gonna do the PG-13 one tonight.
Okay.
I don't know if this is not PG-13. All right, hold on. Okay, this is a good one. So your friend decides that she is going natural and shaves her hair clean off. You think she's made a big mistake. This is not a cute look on her. How do you handle this? Do you A, tell her it's not a good look, she should wear wigs until her hair starts to grow? B, try to avoid answering her when she asks for your opinion on how her new look is? Or C, try to help her, tell her she has no hair, she's better to serve face, always have your makeup done, and wear big earrings.
Okay, so our friend actually gave me this advice.
Hey girl, come on with
the last, and I thanked her for it. So when I went natural, I wasn't the cutest. And I don't always wear makeup. And she was like, "Listen,
how did you go natural? Did you like shave off? Did you do the big chop?"
I did not do the big chop, but I continued to cut the perm. I got scissor happy, so I kept chopping the perm. So it was a little short. It was a little short, but I loved it. But so one of my friends was like, hey, she was very encouraging, and I would give this same advice probably. Very encouraging. She was like, listen, keep your face beat, throw on some signature earrings. She's like, and own it. And it was, I wasn't offended by it. I was like, oh, I appreciate that. Like, okay, cool. This is how we do it. So I would probably give that same advice. I think that I always try to undergird with a little bit of encouragement.
I think everyone goes through and it's called the ugly phase, and everyone, it's kind of derogatory to call it ugly phase, but I feel like it's more of a growth phase. You kind of, you're not used to yourself looking like this, and you start to question yourself, but it's a process, and when you look back, I feel like you kind of grow from that to appreciate yourself and love yourself a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I think hair is psychological.
It's a psychological.
And I think a natural hair journey in and of itself is psychological. And you're right. It's literally I've called it the ugly phase. I've heard some other people call it that. Because it's just like, it's just different. It's different than what you are used to. And it's something that you have to get used to. And it might require you to think, to like dive into a different level of confidence in yourself, you know?
It does.
So it's like, yeah. And then when you got your girls that can hype you up along the way and help you with that confidence, it's like, okay, I can get through this, or I can embrace this.
Yes, absolutely. So it sounds like your friend told you like in a considerate, gentle way.
Very much so.
You have friends that are not so gentle. Nope. And are a little abrasive. So for me personally, I would have chose the same answer, but I know certain people are not as gentle with telling you how they feel about how you look. And I mean, and we've spoken about this.
I mean, like I've said this a million times, we're from the Caribbean, and so sometimes our tone is a little harsher when we say things, because that's kind of how we talk to each other. So like, I might see somebody, I'd be like, where you going with that? But they know that even though I'm saying you look crazy, I'm genuinely saying like, don't wear that.
Yeah, it's from a good place. It's from a good place.
I know, it's weird, but it's understood. Okay.
And it depends on the friend too, because I think I got my friends that they could come and be like, yo, you look crazy.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what?
Would you be okay with that?
So it's all about the relationship. I think it's all about the trust in that relationship. If somebody's like, yo, you look crazy, I'm like, maybe I do. Maybe I need to just take it back. But if somebody that I don't know said that, then you're not gonna get that same response.
That's way different. Yeah. Friends, that if that's your friend and she's not saying it out of malice or just to be then yeah, of course.
Yep. It's like, all right, well, I need some feedback then, I guess.
This one is from our What Would You Do category.
Okay.
It says, you and your boyfriend break up and your friend is very supportive to you during this time. You find out that she has also texted your ex to see how he was doing. How do you feel? What would you do in that situation?
That my friend texted my ex?
She was texting him.
So not only is she, consoling you and checking on you and making sure you're doing okay, but she's also reaching out to your ex to see how he's doing too. So, like, how do you feel about that? Like, how would you feel about that?
No. We're gonna have to have a conversation. You are my friend. You are my friend, okay?
Hello.
He is okay. His well-being is not none of your concern. It is about my well-being. No.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like, I'm not gonna be happy about that.
He has his own friends.
Yeah, let his friends check on him.
Now, how would you respond if you guys were mutual friends, or in your relationship with your now ex? Mm-hmm. That friend became friends with the ex.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. So I would understand a little bit in that situation if I knew for a fact that you guys were friends. I could understand you checking on them. Now, if I didn't know you and him got friendly and now you're texting him, I would kind of be like, what?
Yeah, I'm gonna still be a little low-key annoyed about it. I'm still gonna be a little annoyed about it, but I'm glad you asked that question because that's exactly what this game does.
Mhm.
It causes you to kind of like, go ask a question, ask more questions.
Yeah.
Kind of with a little bit into it, So yeah, I would be low key and still annoyed, and I would kind of ask you like, why are you? Why? Like, it's all about me right now,
Yeah, like he all right. We gotta go back to the beginning of this relationship. Like, okay, that's where you determine what moves you make. Like, what
you gotta choose a side. You gotta pick a side.
Gotta pick a side. I'm with you. I'm gonna be low key, high key. And I think from this girls' night, when we asked this question, from this day forward, you are aware that I have had friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you know what? Like, also, all right, say if we are the friend, right?
Yeah.
We have a relationship with both parties. How do we know that she would feel that way? Because if she didn't express it, so it's good to kind of communicate.
Yeah.
Instead of like, because I could be like, if you did that, I could have been annoyed and just kept it to myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I blame you if I haven't told you. Like, I don't like that you're reaching out to him.
Yeah.
So it's good to communicate. It's definitely good to communicate.
And how many times do we not communicate it, but it's still very present in the conversation? Like, oh, I got a little bit of an attitude towards you, and your friends
attitude, communication. That's communication.
Right? Or, and it could cause you to even question your friendship, which it really shouldn't, if you just have that conversation and just, put your cards on the table.
Yep.
So another question is, you're finally going to meet a great guy. Excuse me. You're finally going to meet a great guy. Excuse me.
We're gonna get a good question.
All right. So you're finally gonna meet a great guy that your friend has been raving about for months. She introduces you to him at her house party. You realize that you dated him before, and he ghosted you after you slept with him. To make matters worse, he acts as if you have never met him before. What would you do?
Whew. Deep real quick. Okay, so this is my friend.
Right.
We pulling him to the side, and I'm having a conversation. And I think that
you're gonna have the conversation right there at that party.
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. So here's the thing. I would want to be really considerate about how my friend is receiving the information. So if we in there, loud music going, it might be like, hey girl, tomorrow let's get together for coffee because I just want to talk to you. I feel like I would have to tell. Yeah.
I would have to say something. I'm not a person, I can't really hold things in. Like for me to go home and sleep on that, I'm not gonna really sleep. You know what I mean?
In the moment.
So I would feel like, oh, I gotta talk to her.
That same night?
I gotta talk to her tonight. We're gonna have a conversation.
And then how would you say it? Like, say if it was me, like, how would you tell her?
I would have been like, you remember the guy that I told you about? Because obviously when I told you about him, that's him. That's the guy. And then from there, you have questions, whatever, I'll answer them. And whatever you choose to do at that point is on you. If you keep dating him, hey, it's whatever. But I'm just gonna be honest with you and let you know this is the guy that I was telling you about, and this remember he did that and blah blah blah. And then I'm just gonna kind of leave it there and probably leave. Like, probably leave the party after that.
I was gonna say, I was like, are you just gonna go on about your night dancing, or you? I was like, that's it. Like, this is it.
I'm like, all right, I'll see y'all tomorrow, and then just head out.
And I feel like that's what you would have to do almost, right? Like, I mean, you can't just like
you can't stay there and watch everyone all night. Like, it's just gonna be awkward. Yeah,
you have to be sure that you're prepared for that night to end.
Right at that moment.
So I mean, it's a super awkward situation. I wouldn't want to upset my friend at that time. You know, like you said, like I want to be considerate to how I deliver it to her.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. I don't know if I could hold it in either.
Yeah.
But if she had been dating him for months, or you know, a long period of time, you know, I would also consider like, okay, he was like that with me. That doesn't mean that he will be like that with her. And like I wouldn't want to, you know, just because he wasn't for me doesn't mean that he's not for her, you know.
It's when you have to also question, how close are we that I didn't even know who you were dating? Like, you know what I mean? Like if we're, you know how girls are, they'll send you a picture, they'll show you a picture of the guy you're dating, they'll tell you everything that's going on. So clearly we're not that close. Or else I would have known this was him, like months ago. Months ago, I would have known. So clearly our relationship is already on the rocks. No.
That question?
Yes.
Good to know. Now I'm questioning friendships. Well, I don't know, because like I don't know if I would have if somebody ghosted me after you said it was it was just like a one-time thing, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would have. I don't know if my friends would know about that.
See?
I don't know. Now we always have that one friend.
Part, but if she was dating him for a couple of months and that's your friend, you would know who she was dating.
That's a different. Yeah. Now that's If she has, if the longevity is on her side, and I don't know, then yes, because I'm also that friend that no, even if it's a first date, I'm the friend that you send the picture, the driver's license.
Okay, address where you're going. You know, I mean, say if it's not one of those friends, because I don't do that with every single friend. You know what I mean? So say if it's not one of those friends that you would send it to. I mean, are you gonna tell that friend that's like, are you gonna tell them?
It's all depending, like I said, how close our friendship is. I could probably sleep on that one, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay, so if you weren't as close friends, you wouldn't say anything.
I would still say it, but then I might not need to say it right there and then.
If I wasn't as close of a friend, like if our friendship wasn't like, you know, super tight, I wouldn't say anything, like, because why? You know what I mean? Like,
what's another day?
Whatever, like that. Kind of brush it off. Like, okay.
I can't see. I'm gonna write in.
All right, so another question is, your man tells you that he doesn't like weaves. What is your frame of thought? Do you appease him since he's a good guy? B, dump him. It's your hair. He's either down for you or not. Or C, compromise. You like to change your hair up anyway.
What was the first one again?
Appease him because he's a good guy. Or B was dump him. It's your hair. Either he's down with it or not. Or C, compromise because you like to change up your hair anyway.
Okay, so I've had this conversation in my lifetime. I'm sorry, like this is my body, this is my hair, this is my preference, and I think, you know, when you're married, it's a different. It's not as disposable. But like if this was a boyfriend, to me, it's goodbye. Because at that point, for me, I think that this is my body, this is my preference. Like I let it or get wrong, and I think that hair, your preference of something like hair, could also be an indicator of your you feeling like you can have control or that much of a say in other areas. And it's like, no.
It's true. Definitely true.
Yeah.
Which one would you choose?
I mean, I don't really have the problem because I haven't worn a weave in years. But I still feel like this is my hair. So you shouldn't, like, are you paying for my weave? Like,
so
why are you concerned?
He was paying for your hair. Would it make a difference?
Why are you concerned with my hair? Because
I feel like we've had this conversation.
We had a conversation if your boyfriend told you he didn't like your hair. She needs to stop.
No,
I told
because
her.
I feel like you have said he know like, oh, it's how he,
It's a whole different,
how he
like your husband. Here's an example.
How he likes
And let's see.
he knows what he likes.
I'm gonna ask her what she thinks.
Okay.
So if you, let's say you normally wear your hair a certain way, you went to the hairdresser, you changed it. And when you come home, your boyfriend said, I kind of liked it better the way it was before. Or your husband says that. So yeah, that's your boyfriend, your husband. I understand him having a say in what he likes. He liked your hair that way instead of the way you have it right now.
Yeah.
He'd be like, he should never comment on my hair ever. Like, no. He
I never said he can't
comment. You didn't want him to tell you that he didn't like it.
No.
He has a right to tell you that he didn't like your hair. Correct?
I would I would be open to his feedback and comments, but is it going to change the way my hair goes?
It probably won't change it, but I feel like, if he says, I like the way you wear your hair up. Why don't you wear your hair up? Then I could wear my hair up. But this is something different now that you telling me cut these, like if you were like, I don't like dreads, cut out, put a wig. No.
And that's a different conversation, because I think, our conversation here is I like to wear my hair natural, and my husband likes my hair straight, but he also appreciates it when it's natural. And I think we had to embark on that conversation of, I will straighten my hair every once in a while. Like, yes, we can enjoy it while it is straight, but I will also enjoy it just the same when it is natural. And hopefully you can enjoy it as well, because it's
Right.
what I'm gonna do.
That's all different sides to you. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yep.
So, all right. This one is also, what would you do? You're out on a date with the finest man that you've seen in the last few years. He is good on paper too. He asks you to go Dutch on dinner. What's your response? A, Dutch, I don't speak that language. B, sure, as a matter of fact, I got you too. Or C, why would you expect me to pay for a date?
Yeah, that's a hard no for me. I'm sorry. I just this is a disturbing question for me. So I feel like yeah, that's just, if you're taking a woman out on a date, the man should pay for it. I feel like if the intention from the beginning was not to pay for it, let me know that ahead of time, and I will tell you that we're not going out on a date. We're not gonna go out on a date.
Make an informed decision. Yeah.
That's just how I feel about it. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand that. I don't get it. What do you think? Alexis, what do you think about that, Alexis?
So I think I agree with you. So let me say this. I am open to Dutch dates. I'm open to dates where I pay one time, you pay another time. But I think you said that the key phrase is the expectation needs to be set from the beginning, so I can make an informed decision on. But like, if the check comes and you're like, oh, you got you, because I got me. Then
her meal was $25.92. Like,
how many drinks? Let me divide the tax and tip. Like that to me, that is in poor taste, and I have not been given the opportunity to be able to make an informed decision. And I think it also depends on. No, I'll take that back. I was gonna say it kind of depends on like what date it is. Like, are we down the line where we just know each other and we are?
I feel like women shouldn't pay for a date until you're like in pretty close, like you're in a relationship. Then I can understand me as your woman taking you out to dinner. You know what I mean? But if we're in the courting phase, I feel like
say if you're in the courting phase. Say if you're in the courting phase. I know what my answer is, but say if you're in the courting phase and it's like his birthday and you've been on a couple of dates. You've been on a couple of dates with him.
I would do something.
You're gonna pay for him. You're gonna pay for him.
I would take him out for his birthday. If we're dating, like multiple dates, like we're to the point where I think we can be serious, then I will take you out. And I know you, I feel like we're good, and I'll take you. It's a birthday. It's one time.
What if it wasn't a birthday? You were like, you know what? I'm feeling the situation. Let's go do your favorite thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could do that. I don't know. I'm on the fence with that one.
Dating. If we're not like seriously dating and this is like I just met you when your birthday is like next week, then no.
Yeah.
Not acknowledging your birthday then.
Going out whenever.
Like if I just met a man and like my birthday's right before Valentine's Day and there's Valentine's Day, like I don't expect you. We're not in a relationship. I don't really expect something. Now, if we are seriously dating,
which you don't like a present
from a birthday or Valentine's Day, because we're not even, you know what I mean? We're not there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree. All right. So another question is, you decide to use some of your rainy day fund to buy yourself a day at the spa. You check your fund and you check your stash and you find that there's only $20 left. All right. You ask your boyfriend about it and he said he used it to fix his car. And clearly this conversation didn't happen with you. What's your response? So pretty much you're deciding to treat yourself to a day at the spa. You look at your stash, your rainy day stash, and you see that you only have $20 left. And your boyfriend tells you that he used it to fix his car.
Okay, so I think I'm not trying to be nitpicky, but my boyfriend wouldn't have access to my rainy day stash.
Oh.
Now my husband would. But my boyfriend
makes sense. That makes sense.
Absolutely not. And if it's down to $20, you're gone. Like I hope you got that car fixed. So if it's my husband, it's a different conversation. It's like, hey, we're having a conversation about consideration. We're having a conversation about about just listen, if you need something, we can ask each other, we can talk to each other about it, but it's not okay to just go and up and take something. Now, boyfriend did not have to take consideration.
Yeah, if we're in a relationship, shoot me a text, be like, hey babe, I'm gonna borrow this out of here because you don't just take it and never say anything though. Like that's weird. Like why would you never say anything? Like, you were like hoping you got away with it? Like what is this?
Maybe he was gonna put it back. Like
he said he was gonna put it back?
Maybe he was gonna.
I don't know.
I wouldn't. That's nonsense, and I wouldn't put up with that either. I think it's a matter of respect. Like you just taking that's stealing. It's stealing.
I would say it's stealing.
That's
what you're telling me.
Yeah, they're stealing. So yeah, it would be a problem. It definitely would be a problem, and it would just let me know that the type of person that he is, and I wouldn't deal with it.
Yeah, couldn't trust him.
Right.
It's the trust, it's the consideration,
consideration, everything, communication. There's so many things that go into that one thing.
Yeah, it's all over. Like, you know what? And the trust, communication, consideration, the entitlement, the privilege.
Yes, everything.
You have to get in that same car that you just fixed, and you're gonna have to go.
Crazy. All right, this one says,
I would love to see this game played with a mix of 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. You guys are making me absolutely miss and want a girls' night. I'm like, man, it has been way too long, way too long. And I think that like these conversations, like as you said, it's one question that leads to a follow-up, that leads to a follow-up.
It does. And like I said, you kind of learn things about the people who you're playing the game with.
Yeah.
Whether it be your friend that you think everything about them, or because I've learned some things about my dear friend over here through playing this game, and I would say she definitely I wouldn't have I didn't know her when she was younger,
Yeah.
So, the things that she tells me, I'm like, damn, girl, you did that. Like, I'm like, yeah, we would have been cool back then too, But it's just interesting, to see how, we handle things before or how we would have versus now.
Yeah.
And it definitely is an experience that facilitates like open dialogue and bonding. So it's awesome for sure. It definitely is awesome.
I can definitely see people starting out with the cards
and just going in a whole other.
Girl, we go
I
from,
know.
listen, we go all over the place.
That's why I feel like you could never finish the game because by the time you start, like we've probably already been talking for like 45 minutes, and this is all we've done.
Yeah.
And there's 100 questions in here, and we've barely done 10, like 15. Like that's how it goes.
And I feel like some of those cards we could have stopped there and had a full-on conversation on different perspectives and scenarios, like, and it was like, hold on, wait, can we stay there? Hold on, let's talk a little bit more. But I would definitely, I mean, okay, so this pack that I have, we are giving away, but I need to order my own because this is gonna be in my collection. Like I really, 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 as we were talking, and I loved our experience. So like we just met, but I felt like we had a really honest conversation. And
we did, you see, and this is what happens. You know, this is what happens because I feel like women, I think we like to talk.
We like to talk.
We're talkers.
We like to have a good time. Talk about our feelings,
right? You know, our emotions, and this game definitely helps. You know, us to do that.
Yeah,
and it's just a good time. You just have a good time.
Yeah. So we're excited for whoever is lucky enough to be able to get that free game.
And hopefully we will be able to get folks to you guys so that so we know that only one person can win this one, but everybody can order their own, order their own set. So can you guys tell us where people can find you?
Sure. So you can find the game, you can purchase the game at www.playalldaygames.com. You can find us also on Facebook at Play All Day Game, and also at Instagram at play_all_day_LLC. And you know, we put up
we do try to put up some of the questions.
Mixture of the questions.
Put some pictures with it, some scenes that kind of relate to it. Just to keep it all fun. Fun and promote self-care. We do a lot of different stuff on our both of our social media pages. So definitely, you know, follow us on Instagram, and hopefully you'll get a copy of the game and let us know how you like it.
Yes, and then you guys have some things that are coming up in the future that you want folks to know about. Can you tell us about those?
Yes, we are definitely planning some more events as soon as things kind of calm down a little bit with COVID. We are planning in the summertime to do a picnic in the park, which will be an event for women to get together with your girlfriends, because you obviously need excuses to do that, right?
We always.
So we're gonna have vendors there, food, music, entertainment, you know, so we want everyone to come out, get cute, make your little spread, you know, have your picnic, take pictures, have a good time. That's what it's all about.
I love it. I might need to fly down there to see y'all, for the event. And I'll definitely come for one of your game nights, because I'm sure that they are, they are lit, and
they're lit.
But love to be able to join. So guys, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thoroughly enjoyed our session tonight, and love this version of Cocktails and Conversations. We played a game. We learned about the impact you guys are having on your clients, and I know that there are circles of women that are forming deeper bonds because of this, and you guys are doing great work, and I encourage you to continue on. As I mentioned, I'll be buying a copy for myself, so that I can enjoy it with my girlfriends and be able to play the game.
How it goes.
Absolutely. I definitely will, and I will be encouraging my friends to be able to buy a pack as well. So thank you. We look forward to continuing to provide folks with tools to be able to facilitate these conversations and experiences. They can be deep and they can be fun both at the same time.
Yes, girl, yes. And we want to thank you also for creating this platform for our people, women, to be able to showcase our products and reach our audience. We really appreciate it. and it's definitely needed. So you're awesome for that.
I appreciate that. You don't have to thank me. I think that we all are connected. We all have the opportunity to be able to share. And I think, whenever we can just be able to expose really great products and the purposes behind them to our networks, do it every time. So I'm incredibly happy, and I'm so glad that we were able to find each other. Because I'm very excited for you guys. I'm excited for your future and excited for this game.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining this episode of Cocktails and Conversation. We look forward to the next episode. Cheers. I'm all done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed another episode of Cocktails and Conversation. Be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment below to let us know if you enjoyed the session. For future episodes, be sure to subscribe. Craving more information about building a sense of community through hosting? Head on over to our Instagram and Facebook pages, hosted by TMC. See you next time.